Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to another Friday Hang. I am back at last. Last week I took off because got pretty sick. Yeah, there's a lot of something going around, right? Hopefully you guys aren't getting sick. And if you are, hopefully you're curled up underneath your bed with your phone and you can watch this video or listen to me ramble, or perhaps that's just making things worse. So anyway, for those that are watching and joining me in the live premiere thing that we do, welcome. Hope you're all having a good Friday. Hope you got your Friday beverage. Let's lift up our glasses, whatever you're drinking, and let's have a congratulatory we got through the week Friday sip. And I got my most manly of manly cups with me. Powerpuff Girls, of course. I don't know why I always end up doing these videos with the Powerpuff Girl mug. But hey, that's how it is. You guys, first of all, I want to go over some stats. We are at 163 subscribers here on YouTube. On BitChute, we have 8 subscribers. But in all fairness, I've only just started uploading videos to that platform about a week ago. We're at 2 whopping subscribers on Daily Motion. So wherever you're watching this, hey guys, thank you for joining me. Please hit that subscribe button, share, like, comment, because we're going to go over your comments right here, right now on this Friday Hang. Alright, so let's go over to the comments section here. And we're going to probably have a lot. We're going to have a lot because it's been a while. So we got to go all the way down here to a new subscriber, Kasara11. Welcome to the channel. Good to have you. And as you know, I always like to go over and return the favor and hit the subscribe over on their channel. So we do that. And now we got to go back down here. And let's see. Eli Beard commented, and this is from 2 Friday Hangs ago. And so what does he say? He says, so is it that traditional art is more valuable? Where is digital art's place? In my mind, digital allows for faster art for online audience. But then again, all traditional can become digital after ... Things that make you go, So Eli, so let's take your first question. So I think what you were referring to is when Noel Serrato was on the line and we were talking about art and stuff. So to answer your question from that conversation is that we were talking more about the ability to have a physical piece of artwork that you can sell in addition to the scanned-in finished art that you use to make prints, comic books, whatever you're deciding to do with it. But if you have an actual piece of physical artwork that you drew, it's an original piece of art, you can use, that's like another tier of, I guess, income. So it's not necessarily that traditional art is more valuable, because artwork in itself has its own value. You know, it just depends on, what do they always say? Art is the eye of the beholder. So, you know, someone's little scribble could be super valuable to this one person, and another person can just be like, ugh. So artwork in itself is either valued or not valued depending on who is looking at it, right? So I definitely wouldn't say any kind of artwork is more valuable than any other artwork. I think the whole idea was just that you have an actual physical piece of original art that you can use to then auction off or sell it or whatever, in addition to whatever you're going to do it by scanning it in and having it all finished. So I hope that answers the question. Where is digital art's place? I'm not sure what that means, but there's a place for all artwork. Digital, traditional, mental. Was that a thing? I'm a little mental. I need some more coffee. GamerBeast commented, what is that? Okay. And he's commenting on my Ray Wyatt. Gamer Beast. That is... that was my interpretation of the Beast, Ray Wyatt. Okay. Let's move on. New subscriber, Stormy Wolf. Welcome to the channel. Good to have you. As you know, I'd like to return the favor. Here we go. Alright. Alright. Karen Knight commented, "This is just awesome, Jason. Is it bad that I find him totally adorable?" Oh, and this is from the artwork that I did with the Bunny Foo-Foo cross with the goon. That was a fun and interesting piece. And Karen, no, it's not bad that you find him adorable. I hope you find all my artwork adorable. Thank you, actually, for the compliment. That was very nice of you. And Karen Knight, actually, I want to give her a special shout-out plug because she is actually a new Patreon supporter of mine. So thank you for that, Karen, as well. And we'll be talking about you, like I do in every video, a little bit later. Stormy Wolf, hey! Commented, "Oh my god, this is so amazing. There are no words. Thank you so much. You are unbelievably talented." Thank you, Stormy. And oh, Stormy, that's right. She bought this print of Alice in Wonderland, and then I did a video of me doing some original artwork for her. So check out that video if you haven't already. It's on this channel. And Stormy, I'm so glad that you really liked it that much. That's awesome, and it made my day when you took all those pictures and posted them up and told everybody about my work. That was awesome as well. I was blushing, but I was happy. It had lots of smiles on my heart. Alberto commented, "Looking good on my Nathan Wallace drawing." Thank you, brother. Thank you. Love it. Appreciate it. From an artist to another, I always can use the compliments. Okay. New subscriber, Dome Gramagic. And let's go subscribe him. Alright, we did. Thank you for joining. Welcome to the channel. New subscriber, Dan Pressy. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the channel. Alright. A Kiss commented, "Thank you, Jason, for the beautiful review." Oh, this was his comic book that we reviewed this week. Of the holiday horror comic. So check out, the book has 28 pages and it's available at Comixology and Indie Planet. There are links in the description below on that video, but I did say it was 24 pages in the video and it's actually 28. So even better value for your money. So check that out. Support indie comics. New subscriber, Marjorie Lee Theek, and we're going to subscribe to her as well. Okay, thank you guys for those subscriptions. Alright, so thank you for the comments, everybody, and keep on commenting and let me have some something to talk about for Fridays. I think we're going to call somebody again today. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. But before we do, let me talk real quickly about the Genesis comic book. So we're going to be launching an Indiegogo in January because I figure we'll have some Christmas money in to spend, right? And give me a chance to kind of generate a little bit of interest for Genesis. So what I'm working on right now is getting the video together for the, I guess, the crowdfunding page that I'm going to use. So I'm trying to get some voice actress stuff put together. I might take stuff from the soundtrack. Not sure, but I've got some ideas. I want to do a good video, but I don't want to give away the whole comic book story. But I don't know. Maybe you have to. I don't know. I have to watch more trailers, figure this out, because I want to tell the story about what it's about without telling you everything it's about. Because then why are you going to buy the comic? Of course, probably just the amazing artwork. Sarge's work alone is worth that. So, I don't know, maybe that'll work. I should. Anyway. Alright, you guys. So, that's what I'm working on with Genesis right now, just getting things ready for the for the crowdfunding. That's going to be in January. So be watching for that. Okay, so now let's get on to the new portion of the hang video here, and let's talk to James Burton, comic book creator. Hello?
Good afternoon, Mr. Doobie. How are you doing today?
Hey, James, brother, what's going on, man?
Oh, just me losing my mind a little bit of the time, dancing with all of the day job things that we all got to get done now and again.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I felt a little bad because it sounds like it's pretty crazy over there today.
This is actually the busiest time of the year for plumbers. So, and not only that, but I'm trying to expand the business, so I'm hiring people left and right and trying to keep organized on top of that, which is always a challenge.
Well, I'll ask you a couple of questions real quick because I don't want to hold you up too much.
Oh, we got time, man. Do what you gotta do.
All right. Well, first of all, I want to see if we could get an update about Damage Incorporated issue 4.
Sure. I will gently complain about my printer.
Oh no! You mean the second batch was bad?
No. The second batch hasn't arrived yet.
Okay.
He's trying to. He's there's three different things are going on with him at the moment. He's trying to keep up with his normal flow and work my run in between because he's not charging me for the mistake. So he's trying to do things in the right order so that he doesn't have to charge me, and it's taking longer than I thought. And on top of that, something he's very, very, very passionate about happened in his neighborhood.
Oh.
That drug him into like a big old political fight. Basically, he's a lifelong scout and a scout leader, and the property their troop uses for all of those things was put up for sale. It turned into this huge like community action thing where it's like them versus the government versus, what's the right thing to do. And all those things kind of happened and hit him all at once at the same time when the mistake was made on my print run. And he's gotten a lot of the stuff straight, and he just gave me an update yesterday. I was hoping to have my books about 2 weeks ago, and I told him that trying to ship things to me during Thanksgiving was probably a little bit difficult of a promise to keep, but
yeah,
I just got an update from him yesterday, and he's now saying that I'm about 2 weeks out. So it's put my plans for the year behind quite a bit, but I'm trying to make sure that all the backers know what's going on inside of the Kickstarter.
We have a new book by the new year.
Yeah, that's the idea. I worked my butt off to make sure that I had all kinds of layers of light, but the artwork and the textures and layering were as good as Inheritance. And then the way they were printed erased all of that extra detail. And I'm just not happy with the book if it doesn't have all of that in there.
Well, yeah, of course.
In my opinion, that's the whole point of getting a gray tone book like that. If you can't see the layers of light, then what's the point?
Absolutely. No, that totally makes sense. You want to show the work of your art that you've put so much energy and time into. I mean, and you want a good product anyway for your backers. Correct. So, no, That makes total sense.
Now, issue 5, I've got probably about 65% finished.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you going to do a crowdfunder for that?
Huh?
Are you doing a crowdfunder for that one as well?
Honestly, I usually decide that when the product is almost finished. My plan is usually to crowdfund. Part of me is a little nervous to crowdfund again after the printer has had the problem, but I'll be trying to get over that and formulating a plan once I have these other ones kind of wrapped up. I just usually feel that I need to have the book either very close to being completely finished or finished before I'm willing to decide what the plan is, because I don't like it when people hit Kickstarter or Indiegogo and the book has only got like 3 pages finished. I don't like that. When I have slowdowns, it's because of vendors, not because of me.
Right.
And I try to keep it that way and keep everybody in the loop. As a matter of fact, this weekend, some of the side items that I offered as rewards are going to be worked on by myself and Camille. We're going to be making the bandanas this weekend that are going out. All the patches that were ordered, those things were done quite some time ago. So I'm going to have everything ready way before the books show up.
That's awesome.
I've got a big old stack of books. They're just so dark you can barely see what's going on.
Right. Well, yeah, and I remember when you released the video explaining what happened, I felt really bad about the whole thing, and
everybody did. Dude, at the signing when we did the signing back in November when we already won and stuff, one of my fans came into the store just to see if I was okay. They're like, "You look so sad."
You look bummed.
I am sad. I am sad. You guys don't think. I'm glad I didn't publish the first video because it was way worse. You can just tell. The first one I took, I was sitting there doing an unboxing ceremony, and I'm looking at these beautiful.
Oh, that's right.
God!
Explain about what you did when you opened the box on video.
So I open them up, and I'm looking at these gorgeous covers. I mean, the printer knocked them out of the park for quality, and the guys who hooked me up, like Ryan and Noel, and the covers are just gorgeous. And my cover looked really great too. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, wow, these covers are good. These are the best covers I've ever had on Damage. And talking them up and like, and the book's going to be inside as well. It's going to be perfect because this printer's always got this. And I open it up and I'm like, oh crap, I see it. But I'm trying to play off like everything's okay because I figure in the back of my head, I could probably fix this.
You're videoing yourself with trying to hold back hold back your expressions.
Yeah, but and you can watch my facial expressions as I realize I'm lying to everybody who would be watching the video. And I'm literally, eventually at the end of it, I'm like, oh, fuck it, I can't lie, this sucks. I cry. And that's why I didn't put that video out, because I just felt so soiled by how I filmed it, because I just did not expect the internals to look like that, and I was trying to play it off. My little boy comes over to me and he sees what's going on, and he tries to play it off too. He's like, "They look good, Dad." I was like, "The hell they do."
I get to see like the progression every time you flip a page, and your face you're forcing some sort of I hate the world face, and it's getting worse and worse, and then finally you just start crumbling up the comic at the end of the video, and you're like hitting the camera, and you're like, screw this!
I take the quality of my work like super seriously, and it was kind of like trying to eat something that you really don't want to be eating, and that you're doing it just because you got to, your dad's making you to, or something like that. But by the time you get to the 13th Brussels sprout, you just can't take it, and you projectile vomit in every direction. That's kind of what it felt like. Oh, and you know what else I have news on is the scattered crossover work, too.
The what?
Out of my 10 pages, I already have the first page completely until they're done and lettered. So I'm 10% done with that, even though it's like...
Oh, the crossover. The crossover book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be working on a portion of that now. I think it's... I can't remember how many pages. I think it's 9 or 12 pages of
yeah, he did a pretty good job of spreading out the work so that nobody was too overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I'm excited because I got tons of like gunplay and giant monsters chasing people and stuff. And he wrote Volkswagens, and Volkswagens always make me excited.
I'm opening up my opening scene of what I have to draw is 2 of my own characters that I've never drawn before, and they're in some romantic scene, and I'm like, I'm the worst at romantic scenes. But this will be fun. This will be. I love challenges. I'm learning to love challenges. So
it's always good to get a little bit out of your box. That was one thing that I got to learn from the whole debacle with Inheritance, is that sometimes being pushed out of your comfort zone is a good thing. It can go too far, but
yeah,
learning to embrace something new it can lead to some fantastic work.
Yes, absolutely. So what else are you up to? Well, it sounds like you're doing all kinds of stuff with Damage and with your own
So
job.
that's what's going on with Damage. I am tightening up the script for Nod, which is a book I have not released yet. It's very much in progress.
Oh, I forgot about Nod.
Which is, yeah, and I've been working on the script for quite some time because I'm taking it super seriously, and I finally have like my head wrapped around the first about 3 or 4 issues.
And can you talk a little bit about? Can you talk a little bit about what Nod is about?
Sure. Nod takes place in my Damage universe as well, and what it is they're to try to give a succinct pitch. It's about the dream world and that it exists in a lot of different ways for different people, and there are kids who make the dream world just real, just how they go in and out of it. It's real to them, and it comes into their world too. I don't really have an elevator pitch for it, but if I was going to talk about it like that, it's basically about what happens when kids have to fight their fights and the adults just aren't around. If you think back to your childhood, and you think back to the different moments when the world of magic that we all saw and believed in bled into, this world. That feeling, that love of things like Wizard of Oz, that love of things like Neverland, that stuff came from somewhere, and it came from the way the world was, before our childhood died. And when you think like an 8-year-old and a 7-year-old, the boogeyman is real. When you think like an 8-year-old or a 7-year-old, those were fairies that you saw moving in the trees. And those dream worlds that all of us saw, knew, felt, and loved, they always have whatever we carry into them. And for some kids, they carry things into them that are scarier than they should be.
Do you think kids have a magic in them that because you accept your, I guess, imaginary or you're more accepting as a child to these things that you actually have a magic in you that can pull these elements like fairies or things into our reality? Or do you think they're always there and only as a child you can see them?
As an author, I say whatever works with what story you're trying to build. As a person, and based on my own memories and my own life and watching my kids grow up and whatnot, it's some people are just more in tune with it than others, and kids get to see and feel the world in a different way. I went back to Disneyland as an adult, and it was fun. I went shopping. I got knickknacks. I got hats. That's not the frickin' point at Disneyland. That's a waste of time. And then I went back again a couple of years later, and my wife and I had the very fortunate chance to get on the big, gigantic floating ride that they have that goes through like a forest or whatever and slaps water on you down in Disney World. And it wasn't great because it was designed to be this fantastic experience. It was great because a 6-year-old and her grandmother got on it with us.
Oh.
She started to giggle. And when she started to giggle, it changed the ride, and it changed Disney World for the rest of the trip. When J.M. Barrie wrote Peter Pan, he requested that there be something like 40 open seats.
I was just thinking about that when you... I was actually just thinking about that scene in that.
Yeah, and there were people who thought Peter Pan was ridiculous and that it was stupid and it was silly. But when he brought those children in the audience, and those children's laugh echoed as the different things happened in Neverland, the adults got to remember what the world looked like when they were 8 years old. When a towel was a cape.
Right.
Those things are what Nod's about. I want everybody who touches it, who reads it, I want them to remember what it was like chasing monsters across the living room floor.
I love it.
I want them to remember what it. Right.
I love that. I love that concept.
Yeah, that's the point. Because when you read it, that's what you're supposed to remember, both the good parts and the bad. You're supposed to remember what it's like to be scared of a branch scraping on a window, and you're supposed to remember what it's like, jumping across from the couch to the ottoman and thinking that beneath you is a bunch of lava. And if you can't feel that way, then what's the point? So that's not in a nutshell.
I'm looking forward to this book now that I know more about it. That sounds amazing. Um, on a last note, I wanted to ask you about was and I'm new to the Facebook group, Indie Comic Conspiracy.
Conspiracies?
Yes. So for those that are watching or listening to this and are into comic creators, and you're on Facebook, I would check this out, right? You want to explain more about what the group is? Because I'm still kind of learning what it's about, and so now I'm going to learn with everyone else here.
So Indie Comics Conspiracy is a group that was started by, I didn't start it. It was started by Sean Barber, I believe. And he wanted to find a place on Facebook where creators could talk about creator things. And he made a few rules. One of the rules was nobody is allowed to just sit here and pitch. Because if you go on Facebook, every single group that you go to has, all it has turned into is Kickstarter pitches, Indiegogo pitches. And they become empty graveyards of creators saying, love me. And nobody talks back to them, nobody interacts. It's crap. So Indie Conspiracy started, and he made these rules. One of the rules was, if you're going to pitch, you pitch your Kickstarter on Sunday. On Friday, you can talk about whatever you want. On all the other days, try to keep with the theme. Tuesdays is about tips for other creators. Wednesdays is about what are you working on. And whatever you post, you need to post in context. So a lot of us kind of self-police. What he did is he took several friends who happened to be passionate on the subject of creation and made us moderators. Some of us are more well known for being jerks about the subject, and some of the others are more relaxed. I'm not going to say which direction I'm in, but I'm usually the person that kicks people out.
You're the muscle.
And what it is I tend to be, because I guess I get mad and start wiping people out real quick. But what it is if you are just pitching out into the void, then you're not doing yourself any favors. But if you're going to talk about the context of your book, if you're going to say, hey guys, I am running a Kickstarter today, but I want to talk about, what's going on in my life, and I'm going to talk about what this book means to me and look at all these other things. Do you have something that makes you feel this way? Like if I was going to be talking about Damage, I'd be talking about my friends and how damaging it relates to them and how they make me feel. And then I would say, do you guys have friends like that? And then I would put in some pictures and links. That's okay. The entire purpose of it is to teach creators how to communicate about their projects in a way that isn't a empty post with a link that leads back to the Kickstarter. And then inside of those things, we all talk about ways to help each other. Sometimes somebody is on there talking about, hey, how do you start an email list? Hey, how do you talk to an artist that you want to work with if you're a writer? How do you communicate with a co-creator? And we very much try to talk with people about it. And in those contexts, because we regulate the context, and we're so serious about making sure people are having conversations instead of just empty posting, the group has been very helpful for me and several other creators in getting our own crowdfunding going. There's a lot of different creators that have joined in there to help each other. It's, in my opinion, it's one of the only Facebook groups that actually has had a positive effect on my ability as a creator.
Okay.
Even though there's a lot of them, I can honestly say this has made me a better creator, and it's made me a better businessman when it comes to my comics, and it's taught me to keep things in context and whatnot. Comics Launch is another one that has always done a huge thing for me and has been very helpful, but you have to get involved with that one is you have to pay to be a part of Comics Launch, stuff like that. But with this one is more of a grassroots thing.
Yeah, no, I like that. All right, you guys, so check out the Indie Comic Conspiracy. I'll put links below. As far as I'll also put links to Damage Inc., where you can meet James. I'll put all these links below, so if you guys liked what you're hearing from James here, I'll give all kinds of ways that you can get a hold of him and check out some of these things that we've been talking about. James, thank you so much for giving me some time. I know you're really busy over there, so I really appreciate it.
Always. Hell yeah, Jason. And anybody who wants to go hook up with me, you can find me on the Scatter Comics website. I can be found at angerbrainartworks.com. And like Jason said, I got plenty of stuff going on Facebook. And Damage Inc. has got plenty of action going on with 2 new issues coming out in the next couple of months. And I look forward to seeing everybody. And, you know what, Jason? You and I both got a con coming up that should be coming up soon. I'm going to be at Oricon. That's my next one before I start getting into the cons for the rest of the season. But
okay.
Oricon's around the corner, you know.
The next con I have is, I think, VacaCon, or VacCon, which is in March.
Did you get dates for VacCon?
It's in March. Off the top of my head, I don't know exactly. March 7th, 2020.
Fantastic.
So, all right, man. Well, have a good weekend. Thanks again for being on the show and giving me some time. Hopefully, things aren't too crazy for you over there today. And you have a great weekend.
24/7, my friend.
All right, man. Take care.
Adios.
Bye. Hey, guys. So, that was James Burton, the mighty, awesome comic creator. He's got his hands full in a lot of pies, and it's just like a lot of us. We're all out there working hard, pushing on that dream. So, you guys, before we go, I want to quickly just say thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. If you want to help support, of course, I got to tell you, I got a Patreon page. That's right, I got a Patreon page. You can check it out, unlock many different tiers that will reward you with monthly goodies, depending on what you want to do. Check it out on my Patreon page. I got to give a special shout out to my current Patreon supporters. We've got Gloomy, Alberto311, Robin Blank, Quinn, and Karen Knight. Thank you all so much for your continued support. I really appreciate it. And Karen Knight, my newest Patreon, thank you for joining and helping out. Okay, you guys, I'm going to let you go now. Thank you for joining me on the live if you're here. If not, just listening to the show and checking it out. Really appreciate it. Help out the channel. Keep it growing by giving it a like, share, comment below so I can have something to talk about next week. And then let me know if there's somebody you want me to call and interview. I'm not really much of a great interviewer, but hey, this is a lot of fun. And I really appreciate it. You guys, be safe out there. Dress warm. Don't get sick. And have a great weekend. And I will see you next week at the next one. Peace.
And make sure to check out the Patreon.